Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a good day so far. So what do I have now? I have a GMC Sierra. It's an 03. And the truck has been parked for 3 years, and they're just getting it back on the road now. And one of the complaints is the AC is not cold enough. Now, yeah, the AC actually works, and it feels decent, but yeah, it's actually not cold enough. And the compressor itself is cycling quite a bit. Now, what I mean by cycling is the compressor itself turns on and off constantly. It just, it turns on for a short period of time, then turns off for a short period of time, turns on for a short period of time, turns off for a short period of time. It's warm enough outside right now. It's like 85 degrees. It should be turning on and staying on, but it's not. So the temperature itself is actually coming down to about 58. I got it set to full cold, and recirculate, and it's coming down to about 58, but I can hear the compressor cycling. So 58. Yeah, okay, let me show you. There we go. There you can see it. I mean, it feels decent, but you know what? I mean, it's really not going to be that good. And this is a single cab, with clear windows, so it's going to get hot in here, especially with the darker colored interior, the dark gray. I mean, the truck's in nice shape. It's got 160,000 miles. It's a V6 like my truck. But I got the gauges hooked up, and it's ready to go. But let me show you what's involved in charging up the AC system. So there, the compressor's on right now. There, it's off. Stay off. Here it turns back on. So that's called cycling. When it's on, the pressures are going to change. Right now the compressor's off, and you can see the low side pressure in blue is climbing. There it turns on, you see it dropping. Now the pressure should be, average pressure is like 30 to 35 on the low side. High side should be 225, 275, something in that range. So obviously that's on the low side too. Let me just see. Usually I like to get it to the lower side of the pressure readings because it seems to work better. It seems to blow colder. So I don't have a scale or anything to know exactly what I'm putting into it. So I just go by the gauges. Now here you can see I got it hooked up to a Freon R134 bottle. That's a 30-pound bottle. Now last year when we bought the bottles, they were about $100 a bottle. Back in the early spring, they went up to like $580 a bottle. Yeah, $580 for a bottle. It was $100 last year. Now they've come down a bit. They're about $320 a bottle right now. Hopefully they come down further, but we shall see. But it does affect the price of what an AC recharge is going to be. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. So the low side, even though it has pressure, is the suction side. So it'll actually draw in Freon as I open the valve. And through that little window right there, you can actually see Freon going in, the liquid Freon. Oh, and that's the other thing too. The bottle is upside down because in the upside down position, liquid Freon will go into the system, and that's what I want. If you have it right side up, only the gas will go in. I don't like doing it that way. It doesn't seem to work very well. And this is the way I've been taught. Been doing this for 30 plus years. So let me start to add some, and you add slowly, and I want you to see this. I crack it. There you see it going in. And you can see the pressures coming up. And like I said, that's going in slow. You don't want to open up the valve full blast, because if you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to get liquid Freon overwhelming the system. And then you get a liquid Freon going into that compressor overwhelming it. It's just like an engine. You can hydrolock it. You hydrolock it, you blow it apart or damage it severely. You don't want to do that. So you add a little bit at a time, get the pressures where they need to be, and then we'll see. The temperature inside the cabin will be much cooler. So that's running right now, and you see the high pressure is going up a little bit. It's still way too low. So I'm going to add more. If you add it too fast too, you'll see that high pressure gauge. It can pin all the way at 500. Obviously you don't want to do that because it's like way too much pressure. turn the light off only because you don't need to see the that little sight glass anymore. So let me shut that off. I'm gonna let it equalize right now. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing this until I get the pressures where I want them. So I'm not going to sit there and film the whole thing, because that'll just take up time. I don't want to do that. So let me get this to where it needs to be, and then I'll show you. Okay, so I kind of got the pressure readings where they're a little lower than they should be from what I'm used to. But it's not abnormal. I mean, it's still within a range. But I find that if I add more, it doesn't change the pressure readings. So I'm going to leave it alone at this point, because it's cold inside. So high side is like right around 155 when the compressor's running. Low side is about 28. Like right now the compressor turned off. It doesn't have to stay running all the time. It just depends a lot on the evaporator temperatures. So the evaporator temperature sensor will turn the system on and off, because if it gets too cold, it's not good either. You could freeze up the evaporator. So there you see where the pressures are going, and they're holding steady like that. And I added a little more Freon, didn't change those numbers. I added a little bit more, didn't change those numbers. So I'm like, okay, that's where I'm stopping. So that's where the system wants to be. So now, let's look inside. You can see that. As you can see, this thing has been sitting, like I said, for 3 years. But if you look, it's down into the blue. To the higher end of blue, but it's still down in the blue, which is a lot better than it was before. So I'm going to shut this thing down now, because the compressor stays running almost all the time, and then also it'll shut off for a little bit, but that's perfectly normal. So I'm going to shut this down, disconnect it. I'm just going to take it down the road. The car's not even registered, so I'm just going to take down my little dead end road there. All right, let's get that done. All right, so let's get inside the truck. And actually what I should do is I should move well, it's cold in here. I should move the gauge, because having it to the outside vent is usually different. Hold on. Anyway, having it to the outside vent is usually different than having it on the inside vent. The inside vent will read cooler, and that's where they actually want you to take the readings from. So just sitting stationary, right now it's at 46. Not bad. Not bad. Especially for down here, because it's hot and humid again. As you see, I'm not even wearing a work shirt because I ran out of work shirts, because I got them. I had to change my shirts several times, so now I'm out of shirts. I'm wearing t-shirts. But yeah, let's see. That's pretty cold. If I rev it up, it might even go lower. I don't know if you're getting any noise from the vent. Sometimes revving it up will get it even colder, because you're building up more pressure. Yeah, it's getting 42, 44, 46, something in that range. So that's perfect. I'm happy with that. So let me just take this thing for a quick little road test, but that's going to be about it. All right, hope you're getting something out of my videos. If you could, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.